Okay, YouTube. So RL Shorty asked for a few stories about my dad. Actually, I guess this you can regard this as an Ask Uncle Cow. So I'll probably end up giving it two at least. Um, my dad was not. He was hard on us. And yes, me. I know people probably won't believe that. Yes, he was hard on me too. Um, but he always made sure we we had everything we needed. Um, and always made sure we had experiences he did not have as a kid. So he would do he did the scout dad thing, and he was the popcorn chairman a few times, which you know was totally out of his comfort zone. He really didn't care to deal with people, um, and and like I've said to a lot of people, he didn't like to talk on the phone, which is where I get it. So it's not really a story anyway. I, there's so many events in my life because he died when I was 33, almost 40 years ago now. So he was there when I was growing up. So there are like many events. There's not any one thing except for when I was 11 and my brother was 7. Maybe I'm taking this one out because this one was a biggie. He surprised us both with this. Um, I was 11 and my brother was 7, and he surprised us by taking us to the monster truck show that would come around every year, and he knew we wanted to go. Um, Loud noises, big trucks, and the big robot type dragon type thing. Little boy type stuff. So he took us to that. Bought us the junk food mom said we couldn't have, and whatnot, because that's what he did. Because lots of times, yeah, he was the cool parent, but there were times when, like, I was a teenager and I needed to go off with a group from 4-H and or a group from Scouts by myself, and he almost said, "Well, let me go with you," and my mom had to stop him. Said, "No, he's old enough. Let him go off with the other kids." So there were times when he was really good at this type of stuff, but other times, yeah, he was a bit overprotective. So there's that. There's no real big story. This is just the chronicles of you know how it was up until the day he died. He was like that. And so here we are now. I've said this before to a couple friends, and I've said it to Mom. If he was here, we would not be in this apartment. I get almost guarantee it. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have allowed this. He would have taken one good look at this place and said, looked at my mom and said, what are you crazy? But what are you gonna do? Because Uncle Cow doesn't have to deal with anything. I'm sorry, guys. That one still bugs me. People don't know. Okay. I remember the day he died. I was at home, and my mom would go over to the hospital every day, obviously. And she called me and said, your dad just passed away. And I kind of just sat there for a minute. And at that point, I was glad I didn't have an aide because I kind of wanted to deal with that whole thing myself. And from there we move on, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what he would have thought about this sponsored residential thing. He might have had just mixed feelings, you know. So who knows? He's here with us. Sometimes we can feel him. Yeah, guys. There's no real huge story except for the monster truck show story. That was one big thing. That was one of the big things he did when we were kids. Except for the scout stuff, taking us on the camping trips and doing the scout dad thing, which there was all that, and picking us up from scouts and picking me up from taekwondo, always having a drink for me for on the way home because that was needed. Yeah. Hope you got all enjoyed this. Ask more questions for Ask Uncle Cal if you want in the comments. Thank you, R.L. Shorty, for the question. They're always welcome. I don't mind sharing stories about my life. It's just it's the more I tell, the more people understand that it has not been easy. I have had to work for things, and I've had to deal with things. Okay. So, like I always say, guys, stay tuned. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching. And stay safe out there. And like I always say, don't do anything I wouldn't do.